I see those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a trucking down the road. Those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a looking for another load. Well, it's a family tradition, any Rocky Mountain day. Our fathers before us showed us the way. We worked for asphalt cowboys and concrete kings, but that's never been a problem, cause we got diesel in our veins. We've got diesel in our veins. I see those big, bright, shiny red trucks that just down the road.
What's up, JFW family? Welcome back to the Channel 23 podcast. The purpose of this podcast is to reach out and touch the fleet, to engage and inform everyone with all things JFW. Today in the studio, we got Jim White, Brother Dave White, Super Dave Weldon, and myself, Jan Backus. Good morning, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You know,
Is it hot and are we busy or what?
Oh,
it's
boy.
hot
I
and we're
got to
busy.
throw that out right,
Yeah.
right in the beginning.
74 degrees at the house this morning.
Yeah.
Warmest-
Seriously?
Yeah, warmest day so far.
You live on another continent. Super. I had
That's-
64.
That's right out in the middle of my backyard. I mean, it's not, over pavers or
Wow.
on the driveway or anything. It was
Wow.
over grass.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's hot, and they say crime goes up in the heat. And I believe it because I've been thinking about committing some crimes here lately.
I tell you what, tensions go up in the
Yeah.
Yes.
for sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I noticed this like centuries ago that people in Colorado complain way more about heat than they do cold. People just, it's cold outside. Yeah, it's cold. But boy, oh boy, when it's hot, man, do they whine.
Yeah.
It's effing hot.
Yeah, my fuse has been shortened. It's because the heat's been burning it up.
I know I can only identify with Sam. We left together. I rode with him this morning to come to work. He's in town for Jim Sr.'s funeral Monday, but we walked outside to get in the pickup and he was like, "Oh my gosh, it's so nice and cool out here." So in Indiana, you walk out and it doesn't matter at 4 o'clock in the morning. It feels just like 9 o'clock at night or 8 o'clock at night. It's just as hot and stagnant and humid and muggy.
Yeah.
And I was just back there several weeks ago, well, probably over a month ago now in Indy. And they were in a bit of a little heat wave, kind of like we are. And I got up at, like 5 a.m. and I went outside, like expecting this coolness like we have that, amazing, our miracle Colorado
freshness.
Right. And I opened the front door and it was like, woof, it just hit me. And I'm like, oh, this doesn't feel good at all.
I'm
I'm out. So that's the reason Colorado's so amazing. You know what I mean? We have those mountains that bring the cool, fresh air in and pretty amazing place. You take advantage of it. Living here your whole life, you don't realize that.
Right.
Yeah. We had some friends in this weekend from Florida and same thing, Dave. They're just like, they were like thrilled. They were so happy.
Yes. Yeah.
It's all relative. It's all
It is.
perspective. Right?
Yeah. It's a perspective, Jeff.
We do have some smoke in the air the last couple of days, though.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Fire somewhere, huh?
From Cali?
I asked Jackie last night if it was like the Canadian wildfires, and she said, no, there's a couple fires over by Meeker right now.
Wow.
Yeah, Mike told me it closed because Mikey's off on vacation this week, but I talked to him yesterday because, of course, he's working. Even though he's on vacation, he's having to deal with all the problems we got going on. And he was in Kansas the beginning of the week here, and then he was headed up towards Meeker, and he said they had to cancel their fishing trip because the fire's up there. So,
Yeah. Hopefully that doesn't close down our hunting season up there.
Wow, that's...
Yeah.
I hope there's no fire that
I
burns
would
that
sure
long.
hope so. Yeah, that it's gone by then.
but
Not that it would burn that long, but if it
gotcha.
destroys...
Yeah,
there's no trees.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope it doesn't destroy a lot of things, but also...
Right, yeah.
That's where we go. But
Right.
Mikey says there's a fire there every year, because last year there was some fires. I was like, Mike, you hear about the wildfires? He's like, that's every year, Jim. We'll be fine. So, did you guys hear that? Did you just hear that?
No.
No? Me either. Let's say the pledge.
I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. PD, you had that look on your face like you thought I jumped to the dad jokes.
I wasn't good. I wouldn't answer, Jim. There's just no way, man. You were suckering somebody in. I knew it.
As a reminder, anything you hear on today's podcast is not the opinion of JFW's, but it is the Men in This Room's express opinions. Episode 191 had 291 downloads. We are at 98.4 thousand downloads, and we have 779 followers.
Nice.
So this week, will we break 100,000? No, we need a little bit more.
About 3 weeks.
Yeah.
3 to 4 weeks is
Yeah.
what I was just estimating.
Yeah.
Yep. I got so excited about almost suckering Brother Dave in, I forgot to say the trucker prayer.
I knew you were going back.
Well, Super Dave caught it. He was paying attention.
The cool thing is we can fix it.
That's it.
Poof.
This is just an outline. It's not written in stone,
No,
right?
no, I jumped right in there about being hot and busy and just
There we go.
to change it up.
Man, it's almost time for the celebration, though, for the pizza party. That 100,000
yeah,
it's happening. That will crumble cookies for dessert. Anyway,
getting close.
Father God, we thank you for the opportunity to go out and do some trucking today. We pray for the safety of our fleet, all their families, and all the other families and individuals we come across on the road today. We pray for patience and in making good, safe decisions. We pray to be accident-free and that we all make it back to the comfort of our homes this evening. We pray for healing and 100% recovery for all of the family members that are ill. Little prayer for Don Kelly. He wasn't feeling well this morning, so we hope he's feeling better.
Absolutely.
No matter what, we trust you, God, and it's in Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
Amen.
Right.
Don, I have to apologize, buddy. I was of the impression your wife was coming to get you in. The next thing I know, some jam showed up and some action was taken to get you taken care of. So I apologize for not checking on you because I thought everything was okay.
Just hope he's okay.
Yeah, hope you're okay.
Yeah. Do you know why the baby jalapeno was shivering?
Oh, Jam, I think I've heard this one before.
'Cause he was
That's a really
chilly.
joke.
Because he was chilly?
It was a little chilly.
Yes.
Chilly.
Yeah.
Oh, chilly.
Do you know?
Go ahead.
Yeah. That's all right. Do you know why guys walk funny?
Because they need to poop.
Sometimes. It's because they have 3 knees. They got a right knee, a left knee, and a weenie.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm going to follow that one up, Jim, because I got the same kind.
Peppers and weenies?
No.
Oh.
But Rick Gray sent this to me. What's made of leather and sounds like a sneeze?
Achoo.
Wow. I don't know. I'm not putting that one together.
Jam just said it and didn't realize it. A shoe.
A shoe. I'm thinking a shoe.
I mean, when you said it, I was like, he doesn't know it. He just said it.
Oh.
Come on, beat that.
You want to go, Jim? Or
Sure. You guys know how a penguin builds a house?
Yes.
One ice cube at a time, a block at a time. What are penguins? A waddle? I don't know.
It glues it together.
Oh.
lose it.
Oh, man. And do you know why you don't ever tell secrets at the dinner table?
Why?
Because the potatoes have eyes and corn have ears.
Ooh.
That's a good dad joke.
That is
there.
a good one.
Yep, totally.
Like
So-
it.
Are you done?
I am, Dave.
Okay.
I've covered those.
And on one hand, I think we might have said this one already, but I thought it was cute anyway. So a boy was selling fish on the corner. To get his customers' attention, he was yelling, "Damn fish for sale! Get your damn fish here!" A pastor hears this and asks, "Why are you calling them damn fish?" The boy responds, "Because I caught these at the local dam." The pastor buys a couple of fish, takes them home to his wife, and asks her to cook the damn fish. The wife responds, surprised, "I didn't know it was acceptable for a preacher to speak that way." He explains to her why they are damn fish, because they were caught at the dam. Later at the dinner table, he asks his son to please pass the damn fish. The son responds, "That's the spirit, Dad. Now pass the fucking potatoes." That's awesome.
Well, there goes the dad jokes.
Oh, man.
That's the spirit.
That's what we need to say around here this morning. That's the spirit.
Oh, I didn't see that coming. That was a good one, Dave.
That's funny.
Touche. That is awesome.
New employees, we got Mateo Lopez, Juan Vivanco, and John Krebs. Welcome to the fleet, man.
Yeah, welcome you guys.
Welcome aboard.
Celebrations, anniversaries. Vince Meekins hit 5 years on the 3rd. Happy anniversary, Vince.
Yeah,
Yeah,
congratulations,
absolutely.
Vince.
Way to go, Vince.
Matthew Cummins hits 2 years tomorrow, and OCL Cervantes hits 1 year tomorrow. Happy anniversary, Matt and OCL.
Yeah, congratulations,
way to go, Matt.
you guys.
OCL.
Yeah.
Birthdays. Henry Goke had a birthday on the 5th, which was yesterday. And then family birthday celebrations. Georgi's son, Lazare, had a birthday on the 3rd. Georgi's wife, Miriam, has a birthday this Friday. And then Jesus Varela's daughter, Everly, also has a birthday this Friday.
Nice. Happy birthday,
Yeah,
everybody.
Way to go.
Happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday.
Shout outs. Casey wants to give a shout out to Vince and Georgi, who just happened to be in the celebrations, for helping me out at Asphalt Specialties 62nd plant. That's awesome. It's good to see the fleet helping out the safety team.
Yeah.
You know, when you guys are there going in there day in, day out, we rely on you to help us out and make us look smart.
Absolutely.
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
conversation on the radio this last week, you know, between the safety team being helped and other things going on just because we're busy. And, you know, I heard a lot of directions and traffic, and it's good to hear the company radio being used and people talking.
Yeah, even though you've been driving for many years, Jam, you feel like a rookie when you get out there, don't you?
Yeah, I'm starting to not feel that way anymore, though. I'm starting to have the attitude like, just, I can handle whatever you give me. There's going to be material. It's going to go in here. I'm going to bring it somewhere.
Some days, that's not that simple.
Right.
It should be.
Yeah. You know, typically if I haven't driven, because this happens every year, right?
Mhm.
Like, I won't drive for months on end. And then all of a sudden it's like you jump in a truck and it's like, man, where's the rocket rags though? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you want to go in there, you want to look professional, you want to have the information. So there's some guys I call just to help me not look silly, you know?
Yeah.
Like, hey, I don't want to look dumb when I get there. Where's the rock? Oh, you'll see it right there. It looks like rock. I'd rather sound dumb to a buddy than look dumb to a friend.
Where's the rock at? Well, there's the sand pile and the rock pile. It's not at the sand pile. But you know what? When you get directions and you're in a location like that, I don't think I've ever gotten directions that I've understood, Jim. Like a loader operator that works there 12 hours a day can, you know, be like, go to the first puppy, hang a left, and then at the giraffe, it's right there in front of you. And you're like, I didn't understand a word you said. You know what I mean? And I've driven around a time or two and you're like, all right, I got it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, so like going to Morton the other day, 3/4 rock is down in the hole. I haven't been there when it's ever been in the hole.
Yeah.
You know? And then like I was pulling in, I'm like, man, I remember going out back, but I think that was sand. And I get there and he's like, rocks in the hole. I'm like, let me go find the hole. You know what I mean? I was like, well, I bet if I drive around there, I could get down there. And I did. And then I started I saw one of our trucks getting loaded with rock. And then I saw like this other entrance, like right near the pile. So then the second time I came around and I'm like, trucking for rock. He's like, rocks in the hole, middle entrance. I'm like,
middle
okay.
entrance.
Yeah, okay. I know where that is. I saw that the last time.
Yeah, I always love with the loaders, like you're saying, Dave, because they're in there, but they just go under the conveyor belt, and you get to the plant.
There's
and
like 5.
Yeah, there's all these conveyor belts, and you're like, okay.
Try to pick the one you fit under.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
I could just picture someone standing under the conveyor. Well, I'm here. Bennett wants to give a shout out. He says, hey, Jam, I'm wondering if you could put the shout out on the podcast. I want to shout out Valentino Bailey in 0088, who was my trainer. He did an amazing job covering all the bases and going quite in depth at every pit and plant, making sure I knew everything I needed to know. But what's more important to me than all that is that he told me I could call him anytime if I needed help or didn't understand something. Thank you, Valentino, for doing an amazing job training me and going above and beyond.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome, man.
Way to go, Valentino.
Yeah.
Way to go. Thank you. That's a brotherhood and sisterhood right there.
Yep. And Bennett, I could tell Bennett is a guy that pays attention to detail. He wants all the information.
He wants to know it all.
He wants to know it all.
Absolutely.
He doesn't want to look silly.
Yeah.
So, speaking of not looking silly, drivers doing it right. Andrew Nunez. And this is drivers at good following distance, not speeding, no call-ins, looking out the back window when they're dumping.
10-second at the railroad tracks at Coors.
That's a separate list. That's doing it right at Coors. And there was nobody on that list this week.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. That was only 9.5 seconds. What's wrong? So anyway, drivers doing it right. Andrew Nunez, Elvin Spates, Armando Del Val, and Rich Fleckenstein. Good job, man.
Nice.
Yeah, way to go.
Way to go,
Thank you, guys.
I want to start a drivers doing it wrong segment. No? All right. On to the discussion topic. Jim,
I thought you were going to go somewhere with that. Like,
Jam, it just worries me, not that we find everybody doing it right, but I do believe we have like around 110 trucks, and we only had 4 guys doing it right.
it's not just,
So your list would be pretty large to start. I mean,
yeah, it's not to say only 4 people were doing it right. We just know they
we
were
just
doing
know
it
these
right.
4. I
There
know
is.
that, but I'm afraid your list.
there's probably 4 to 6 each week, though.
Can you believe you did that section?
Now that would be fun.
You know, growing up as a kid, right, we would go to all these parts locations, right?
Mhm.
Didn't matter where you went. And it's the same, majority of them are a lot of the same parts places we go today, right? But as a kid, it was just different in the 70s and 80s. You would show up and like there was this board, like a cork board up on the wall, and they were all the bad checks that were written to the companies,
Right.
you know, and
Yeah.
you'd kind of be milling through there and you're like, oh, look, that guy's writing checks he can't cover, and that
Jim
guy's writing
White,
cheks.
why is my brother?
That company's got a bad check, and that
There's a
company's got
JFW
a bad check. Right? And you're just like, I mean, that's kind of what you're talking about
Yeah,
doing.
or like
You know
when
what I mean?
you used to go to the bars and see all the fake IDs.
Right? Yeah, that too,
The
Jim.
liquor store.
Yeah. So that would
All
be
right.
interesting. But you know what? We'd only have 2 of those.
2 of what?
Not doing it right, because everybody else here is doing it right.
That's right. That's right. Not you're right, but that's right. Jim, you want to kick off the auto inflation topic?
Sure. I know Brother Dave and then Scooby's been working on it in the shop, and then we just actually had a conversation quickly about it this morning that somebody's auto inflation light was on, and we get the comment, you know, it's like that every morning, and then it goes out after they leave or a little bit after they leave or as they're going out the driveway. We just want to express to everybody that's not what they should do. We've not found a problem with the system. It's been in the tire. And just to go over it quickly, if you guys want to solve that, and it's fairly simple to do, is when you get in at night, your system will be fully aired. Take your air hoses off your tires, check them, and maybe write it down or remember that they all should be at 110 or 105 to 110. That's where they should be setting at, okay? The next morning when you come in, because the hoses were off your tires, check all your tires. More than likely, you will find a tire that's low, okay? Maybe 80 pounds, whatever. And it's not a very big leak. It's hard to find, but that's the tire you write up for the shop to fix. That's the tire that the system airs quickly in the morning from, let's say, 80 pounds to 110. Doesn't take a lot, but that's the reason the light goes off. It's not, we feel like the comment of, hey, it's on every morning, or that's just what it does every morning, or that's the way it is.
It's wrong every morning.
It's wrong every morning, and that's the problem. So let's just solve the problem. Take a few minutes, grab an air gauge, get with Scooby, get with JR, get with Jam, get with anybody that's out there. If you think you need some help, just spin those off, check them, and then check them in the next morning.
Yep.
You'll find the low tire.
And we're going to separate whether it's a trailer issue in the system or a tire issue. And I think we have one now, finally, Jim, on Rico's.
That's a trailer?
I think we got a trailer system.
System problem.
We started with the tire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we're whittling it down. So
Yeah, had 2 problems.
Yeah.
And we've got rid of one.
I'm not sure because I wasn't involved in it, but it's dropped and it's going to be seen in the shop today.
Yeah.
I'm not sure we can fix it because we can't simulate it as it is being hooked to the truck. You know what I mean? I think we
Sure.
needed to go one more day because, of course, I woke up and thought about it this morning, and we should have. You made the comment. We should have. We've separated the tires from the system now. I think what we need to do is shut that valve off, just like you talked about, and checked it this morning.
Yep.
But it was dropped.
Sure.
So we
Sure.
kind of can't do that because we need this length of time, because what we're finding are these small leaks, and it's over the course of 12 hours or 24 hours. So I don't think we're going to find anything with it today.
Yeah,
I think it was going to be a moot point, but we might.
Yeah, I mean,
We
the only
might.
thing I can think of is hooking it to shop air, charging the system, and you're just basically spraying everywhere.
It's just got to sit.
Yeah, you got
Right?
you're just looking
Uh-huh.
for something that
Yeah.
might not come up. But if your air inflation light is coming on, and it's not like you can't run for the day. If it's it comes on, it goes back off, you leave, just like you've said. That's what you've been doing. It's just a problem, you guys. And those big tires, any tire, heat is an issue. It's hot outside. For every pound they're low, they gain heat. And the thing is, until that system gets up to, pressure, that's just heating that tire.
Yep.
And those wide base tires, they're really susceptible to heat. That's what tears them up. And so we're just trying to solve the problem.
So if somebody was to just turn the air inflation system off, would that simulate taking all the?
It would, Jam, because but you still need to check all the tire. What's the starting
Oh, you want to check the pressure. Gotcha.
and what's the ending pressure?
Right, instead of
But
just
you
banging
could,
it.
you could turn that off at night. Then no air tanks, nothing's going to fill them, and you should have a tire the next morning
low.
that's lower than the rest.
Gotcha.
And then that's where it gets a little complicated, like Dave's saying with Rico's trailer. No tires are leaking, so is there one fitting? Do we have an axle that's got a leak in it? It really gets complicated then.
I'll have to double check with Javier, but I was telling you about 0039. I was up at Fair Play and I saw his light on. I questioned him about it, and he's like, every time I load, the light comes on. The next day, I drove 0039, and when I got loaded, the light came on. So I was talking to him about it. You guys were like, we need to down that trail and get it fixed. And I was like, hey, we need to down that trail and get it fixed. He's like, well, they changed one of my tires and it's not happening anymore. So somehow,
Wow.
yeah,
But we do have it because every time we have this conversation, it comes up, and we have, I don't know, Jim, is it 5, 7 trailers that we've changed that valve on for the lift axle?
Yeah, I think it's 7 or 9. Dave,
Chris Beam is
whatever.
well aware of it, and he's super educated on it and helps those guys out that are having that issue.
Uh-huh.
But on 1 or 2 of those trailers, we've tied the wrong systems together.
I gotcha.
And
That might be one of
unfortunately,
them.
our shop is just, they're consumed.
Yep.
I mean, if we could down everything that we need to down and fix it, we'd have a lot of trucks parked. And I'm not saying we're running dangerous stuff because we
Right.
won't do that.
Yeah,
Right?
it's
If it's a
nothing-
brake problem, an air leak,
No compliance. No compliance
yeah,
issues.
we wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Hey, and I don't, I know you, because I wrote that in there, Jam. And the other note I wanted to make, because we just talked about the 60-second plant and how busy we are, and I didn't want to let it slip by. We've been pulling a lot out of Morrison last couple weeks. Everybody, please be careful up at Morrison. Pay attention to the buttons. I think we're sending guys up and trying to train them and do the other stuff, but it's
It's a unique location.
yeah, when things go bad, it goes bad up there. We've all hauled out of there. We've all heard the buttons have stuck. We've all done that kind of stuff. It's just a place you really have to pay attention to.
Yep.
And then I know dispatch has not gotten on people, but made the announcement when you're pulling, because we're doing Morrison and Spec Ag, all to 60-second, and then make sure you're going to
Asphalt Specialties, 60-second.
not Brandon, which is down the street from each other. Jam, when we started the podcast there, you joked about, something's going in the back, right? You got,
Right.
you got to put some kind of material in the back, and it is going somewhere, and from A to B, it should be pretty simple,
Right.
but, there's a lot of different A's that go in, and there's a lot of different B's you go to.
And even a lot of different C's at the B's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Asphalt Specialties, I think we have to get some slip of paper that we need to get
Oh, yeah.
signed and fill out.
Yes.
So
That's how we get paid.
yeah, that's totally different than everything else. So yeah, there's a lot, you guys, and we've been doing a fantastic job. I know we joked earlier about only so many people doing it right, but man, we wouldn't we wouldn't get done every day what we get done unless we have a lot of people doing it right.
I feel like we got a compliment up there. Maybe the scale house said something.
At Morrison?
Yeah.
Wow.
Huh. I should look at that.
Yeah, I
later.
hadn't heard that, Jim.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Well,
Yeah.
when you guys are talking, I'll try to find it.
Okay.
So,
Yeah,
cool.
that'd be great. So that's all the hand notes I had.
Okay.
So if you want to,
Get back in there.
yeah, I think load gauges are our next one, right?
Oh, I put something else in there before load gauges.
Okay.
And that is we have a 5 a.m. start time every day, whether you receive a dispatch or not.
Yeah.
Brother Dave, are we on for tomorrow?
We're on for tomorrow.
Jim?
I didn't get a dispatch,
Are we on for tomorrow?
but we are on tomorrow.
We're on for work.
We're
Right.
on, but I didn't get a dispatch.
Super Dave, we on for tomorrow?
5 a.m. as a matter of fact.
Yeah. So, if it's August and we're turning and burning and you didn't get a dispatch and you don't come to work the next day because you didn't get one, you're missing out on, maybe you don't need money. I don't know. I think everybody works here to make money and to be part of this amazing culture. But, without the paycheck, they probably wouldn't be here. We're so short. We got like all hands on deck driving, and we got drivers that sat at home because they don't get a dispatch.
Because dispatch made a mistake and didn't
Yeah.
send a dispatch.
Yeah, just be here at 5.
Yeah.
I didn't get a dispatch. Can you put me to work?
Yeah.
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 We work.
Yeah,
You
we're on for tomorrow.
Yeah.
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 We're
And the next day.
Yeah.
And the next day.
Yes.
Yeah, it was just, I don't know if it was Monday or last Friday. It was music to my ears. I hear Andrew Nonis come on the radio. Hey, good morning. I think, Linda, I didn't get a dispatch. What do you want me to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In his truck. He was on the
Preach
radio
it,
at
ready,
5
like-
o'clock.
Send me somewhere.
Yep.
Linda just sent him home, right?
Oh, dang. No, he didn't. She didn't.
That's too funny.
Not this time,
Yeah,
right?
he went to work.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Must not be working.
And we're just making fun of it and joking with you guys, trying to make the point, and it just doesn't make sense to us, as busy as you have to understand that we are right now, just because you didn't get a dispatch not to come in, help us out. We need you.
Yeah.
You're part of the team.
Even in the middle of winter, if you show up, chances are we'll send you somewhere.
Yeah.
You
Yeah, it used to be all the time, Dave. You got the, like Ed and those guys, when Mr. Wallet was calling his name, he'd
Yep.
just show up and, man, he
We're here.
yeah,
worked all day.
right?
We got a logo on a veil.
Yep.
I'll go.
Yep, that's how it was. So, all right. Yes, load gauges. We've beaten this dead horse a lot, but we still need to talk about it. Everybody needs to calibrate and use their load gauges, especially when you're going to places where you need them, like CMEX, Arcosa to CMEX. When you get loaded at Arcosa, you need to find a place to use your load gauges. I understand where your loading's not level and you're not going to get accurate reading, but before you leave there, there's no reason you can't stop on the whole load and figure out, if you're a little bit over and you made an attempt, I can understand you're not perfect, but when you're 10,000 pounds over where you should be, there's just no excuse for that. So if you're not able or willing to use your load gauges, please let dispatch know you'd rather not go haul that CMEX load because you're not able to use your load gauges. We can't have trucks running out of there over 92,000 pounds, and that's it.
Yeah, that's all there is to it. Yep.
I don't know how to say it any different,
I'm going to take a stab in the dark here.
Okay.
I bet Milo or Bennett knows how to use his gauges.
I bet he does. Yeah. I think everybody that we've sent to Arcosa knows how to use them. I just don't know that they are using them. The couple people that I've questioned when there's wow, that's really heavy. Did you use the load gauges? No, I forgot to, and it's like, I don't get it. Somebody did ask if we could put a scale on the loader up there. I guess that's a question from the audience, but we could talk about it now.
Wow, don't we have a scale on every truck?
It's not on a loader bucket.
There's a scale on every truck. That's what the gauges are.
Right. I get that.
Yeah, I don't know
The answer's no.
Yeah,
that Arcosa won't let us just check on their scale.
they will.
Oh, I thought that was a no-no.
They're not open. When we go up there and load at 5 a.m, they're not open. They don't open until 7.
So
I guess my
scale
question
not
is,
turned on,
you
or-
guys can work with me and the fact, why do we put the gauges in the trucks?
Right.
What are those for?
Good measure.
I mean, Dave, that's like saying, I can't even give you an analogy for a CB not working and saying, well, my CB doesn't work in my truck. I'm going to stop at the scale house at Arcosa to tell the loader how much I need. You know what I mean? Instead of using what you've got, right? I mean, if you take the amount of money, because I think those gauges are $200 a piece, that's $400 per truck.
So
times 100. I mean, that's just a quick $40,000 we've spent on gauges that work perfectly fine. We have so many people in the fleet that they are dialed into the 100-pound on those. Those gauges barely change throughout the week. Yeah. You know, we talk about calibrating them all the time. Once they're calibrated, they majorly stay. They change a little bit. It's like anything else. You just got to use it. You know what I mean? I mean, I've said it 100 times. If we had those gauges back when Jim and I drove, wow, game changer. They are spot on. And when you know how to use them, spot on. It just unbelievable. Yeah. Is Arcosa a bit of a challenge? It is. We're not loading on level ground sometimes or whatever, but Dale can make that change for us. We're in control of our own destiny up there.
What do you
know what I mean?
What do you mean he can make the change? He could level
Do we need to level a spot out? Do we need to find another location? You know, we sent Casey up there, delivered more material, leveled out the road and graded it. I mean, we've done everything in our power to make that run kick ass. Right. And it's funny because the guys who know how to use their gauges, they don't have problems. You know what I mean? And I mean, I can use the example here, and it's been over 2.5 years. We were loading salt out of the West Yard when we were over there before we bought Yard 23. I had like 2 trucks pull in, and I went to load them, and I'm like, I haven't loaded the salt before. Pat was normally doing it. He was off on vacation. I said, hey, do you know how many buckets he puts in the nose and on the back so you're legal because we got to go through the port? No. I'm like, he's loaded you before, hasn't he? Oh, yeah. But they didn't even know how many buckets to tell me to put on. I just need a legal load. I don't know what your tear weight is. You're in a rock trailer. Oh, you're an aluminum trailer? I'm supposed to know your tear weight? No, you're supposed to know your tear weight. You're the captain of the ship. So here's an example. 3rd truck pulls in. It's Potter. He's like, Dave, put 3.5 buckets in the nose, 1.5 in the back, and then you can just top me off right in the center. I'll just stop you when my gauges are leveled out. Bam, loaded the dude right to like 79.5 and off he went. That's a driver who knows his craft. You just got to know what you're doing and do it. But if you don't want to be better and you don't want to use those gauges, you're not gonna. That's just the simple fact. Those that know how, do it. Yeah. And I hate to be cold. I feel like the tightening in the office or in the podcast room here because we're like, I feel like I'm saying something that's almost like a shot at people, but damn it, the gauges are there. You just got to use them. You've been given a scale on your axles. You're hauling the scale. We don't need to buy one for the loader. You've got one.
Yeah, I think with that, David, is, you know, we seem to run into it more and more because you try to put what's going on out there, right? Like, Jam, oh, I forgot. You know, you have to be interested in the moment. I'm using the word interested because I just read it, but you have to be interested in the right of the thing you're doing right then.
Yeah.
I'm getting loaded. What do I need to do? Not worry about how the road is at CMEX when you get there, right? You know, what are you doing now? And what do I have to complete my job? You know, did I leave my tailgate open, or, you know, is my tarp out? Is my tarp tight? You know, all the things like that. What am I doing right now? I need a legal load to leave here. I have to be in the moment there.
Talked about those damn gauges till I'm blue in the face.
Yeah.
You know, and we've talked about it. We have a scale at Yard 23, a whole flipping truck scale. Bring a load to the yard and you don't even need to do that. You can check your scale, your gauges off every single practical location we haul out of. If they have a reader board, when you pull on, stop and get your steer weight. Pull on and get your drives. Then pull the whole unit on and you've got your trailers. You don't need to do anything else. Just write those 3 numbers down. Poof. You just got all of your weights. Then match them, do the math, because we've given you the page. It's in your handbook. You've signed off on it. You were trained how to use it. You were trained how to adjust them. Then adjust your 2 gauges, and you are so golden. You just solved all of your own problems.
There you go.
Poof, done.
Boom. Hmm.
Just need to do it.
There you go. Which brings me to the next segment. Interested versus committed. So I follow this group called A Few Will Hunt. And
Fuel?
a few.
A few will hunt.
Yeah, everybody wants to eat, but only a few will hunt.
Sure.
But it's not only about hunting animals, right? It's a play on that, but you'll kill your distractions. You'll hunt down your goals. Like, it's just inspiring. And there's so many of these groups out there that I'm just like, I can only take so much David Goggins and Cam Haines. And, there's just so many of these groups. But man, when I listen to these guys from A Few Will Hunt, like, it just does something to me. And they were talking about being interested versus being committed. And I read their thing and I switched it up to make it a little bit more applicable to what we do here at JFW. Okay. Committed people are different. They always show up, whether it's hot, cold, early, or late. They're going to be here. Elvin, he's committed.
Mm-hmm.
He came in this morning. He wasn't feeling well. Was thinking about calling off, but he wanted to come to work, and he was committed to be here and do his job.
Mm-hmm.
They understand things differently. They understand that the customer counts on us. No matter where we're trying to send you or what we're asking you to do, it's not because we don't like you or we want to punish you or, you're the low man on the totem pole or you upset. We need to take care of the customer. And people that are committed understand that. They understand that we all count on each other. We are here in dispatch and office. We're counting on you to do your jobs the very best you can. And you count on us to do our jobs the very best we can. And we need to treat each other like that. It's come up recently, like there's been some, anytime somebody comes to me for something, I feel like I'm going to help them. And I don't tell them, I don't really feel like helping you right now. And I feel that's what we're getting in return a little bit. You got to understand we count on you to help the house. It's not just the house always helping you. They put safety first, even when it's a pain in the ass, right? So there's times where, you know what, it sucks. I'd rather take this little shortcut, and save me some time and energy, but that's not the safe way to do it, right? So people that are committed to safety, they're going to do it even when it's a pain in the butt. Being interested doesn't deliver loads or cut paychecks. Being committed is tough sometimes, but it delivers more than just loads. It delivers safety, success, and the satisfaction of a job done right. And that's something I really like feeling, is knowing that you did a good job when you go home at the end of the day. So don't be interested, be committed.
That's awesome, Jim. I hadn't heard that before, the interested versus committed. I really like that. It's really good.
Yeah, that's a different one, and it must have spoke to you compared to like David Goggins and those guys. I mean, they're all talking about the same thing, but how does it speak to you?
Right.
And how, just like this podcast, how do we reach you to be committed and not just interested in the job?
Yep.
Yeah.
And we're committed to coming alongside each and every one of you to making you successful here.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
That's another thing that I've been noticing is, sometimes we have to sit down with somebody and go over things, and you got to understand, just because we're in a room because of something that took place with your truck while you were driving it, doesn't mean we're against you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're on the same team.
Fully the opposite.
Yeah.
It means we're for you and we want to help you be better.
Yes.
Yes.
So please understand, it's not you against us. It's you and us against everything, against the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just like Dave spoke about it just now about, ranting a little bit on the load gauges, that's because we were committed to making sure we knew what the weights were of the truck. And we put those gauges in. We committed. We weren't just interested in it. We were committed to knowing what your truck weighed.
I mean, we found them and it's like, oh my God, these are freaking amazing.
Yeah.
Right? They're not some stupid just
PSI.
Yeah. Where you have a needle and it's somewhere between 40 and 60, and that puts me at 38,000. And you're like, good luck with that.
Just so all the listeners and the people in the fleet that haven't been around the old gauges, the gauges used to give you a PSI reading, and you knew if your dries were 45 psi, you're probably, and I'm just making that number up, but you're probably under 36,000. And if your trailer's, below, but I mean, there was no. This is
ballpark.
It was,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, if you had to go
60
do something.
psi was the magic number.
Yeah.
There you go.
remember?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was
Yeah.
60,
Yeah.
but you still never knew what your trailer weighed.
Right.
It was just a guess.
I guess that's what I mean. We've spent as many years as we've been complaining about this. We've spent $40,000 on just purchasing this stuff. That doesn't count the labor to put it in, install it, run the line, make it all work, keep it up to date, all of that. We've trained you how to use it. Who failed? Who failed if you're not using it? Who? Us? We trained you how to do it. We showed you how to calibrate it. We had you sign off on it. Did we fail? I don't think so.
I always had trouble with the air gauge on the rock trailers, though.
Different story, right? Different story.
There's
And
a test question for you, Jan.
Yeah, and the 5 or 6 super dumps. Yeah,
It's funny on that thought, Jim. I do a lot of test drives in the bulkers because they get in early. And so I'm explaining the load gauges, and one of them says, like 8,000, 8.7, right? And the other one says 0. And I have to say, well, that's because it's a spring ride trailer. But all the end dumps are all airbags, and they have a reading. It'll,
Yeah.
So
I-
go ahead.
No, go ahead, John.
After you.
I will educate you on the bulkers, Dave. Every one of them's air ride, and I'm going to make a statement here. I don't know whether it's true. Either all or almost all of them have the gauge on the back, Dave. You just have to get out of the truck. They're all air ride.
in the box.
Yeah.
With the other, like the pressure
Yep.
gauges.
You just open it and you see what your axles weigh.
Oh, okay.
The bulker division can tell us
Yeah,
whether
not-
all of them have it.
Yeah,
know
not
what I
all
mean?
of them are air ride though.
Oh, yeah. Every bulker we have is air ride.
Even those old ones.
Hands down.
The Tersols.
Yep.
Tersols, yeah.
Yeah, you pulled a Tursol for
I pulled a brand new Tersol before it had rust on it
before it got really rusty.
With the old style gauges.
with the old style gauges.
And had to go through the port every day.
Yep, with a glider kit over rabbit ears every day.
Yep.
Super Detroit.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
You started in one of the old slope nose trucks, didn't you?
No,
The
my
old
first
Wheelman?
truck was 0030.
Yeah.
That wasn't
That wasn't one of the
it was a
gliders.
Oh no, but to go over
run
the
the-
rabbit ears,
Yeah,
Oh,
that-
okay.
Yeah.
Fitzgerald glider
Yep.
kit.
Yep.
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 Those were popular.
Yeah,
People liked them.
till California hated them. So just to be clear, why doesn't the rock tubs, and listeners, you may want to pay attention to this, thanks to Jim White, why does the rock tubs say 0 on the load gauge for the trailer?
I don't know. Should we give that away?
Does it have a load gauge for the trailer?
the truck has a load gauge for the
Yeah,
trailer. Yeah,
right.
it's in there.
Because it
Yeah.
goes to any
Because
truck.
it could go to any trailer.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Again, we've spent the money,
Right.
right? We've spent the money on the product and the gauges,
Sure.
right? Because the tractor gauge works just fine.
Yep.
Just no trailer gauge on the rock trailers.
Why not?
Do you want us to answer?
I mean, we give all the answers away on the podcast.
Oh, that's true.
Okay.
One,
Yeah.
one, well, we did
There-
earlier. One is spring ride and one is air ride.
So the trailer is spring ride,
Mm-hmm.
so it doesn't read. It has no way to measure.
Yeah, it has no
Correct.
measure.
Yeah.
Yep,
Correct.
Just the
The gauges that we have hooked to the airbags on the trailer,
Right.
and it measures how many pounds of pressure and it converts it to
Pounds.
pounds per axle.
Right. Unless it doesn't have airbags, and it can't do that.
Exactly. And the next question from the audience will be, well, do they make one for spring ride? They do.
Mm-hmm.
It is so flippin' expensive. We're
Really?
talking in the thousands.
Wow.
And if we have them not used on the in the
Hundreds?
hundreds, sure not going to
40.
spend them on the thousands.
Gotcha.
So, and I mean, if you kind of break it out a little bit more, it's not that we won't get caught overweight at some point with the rock trailers, but the rock trailers generally, as an average, don't go through a port of entry.
Right.
You know what I mean? Unless the portables are set up somewhere. So I certainly don't want to say it's not as important, because it is very important, right? If we had the ability to put them on and it was feasible, we would, but it's not.
By the way, I heard back from Mitch from the Colorado State Patrol.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah. We'll talk about it after that show. But yeah, he's willing to come on. He found out everything he needs to know. He needs more information. And I feel like we went through this a little bit with Greninger. But yeah, he wants what we're going to ask and stuff like that. So
Great.
yeah, we'll have to talk
perfect.
about
That's
that.
great.
I've been so busy. I honestly, I responded to him like, hey, cool. And then I spaced it. Like,
Oh, gotcha.
So
Yeah, definitely need to follow up on that
Yeah,
one,
'cause
Jim.
he was
He'd be a great guest.
Yeah, he was a good guy to talk to at the table. I know we've mentioned that, but
Yeah.
at dinner.
Yep.
Yeah, because he's got a. I mean, I'd love to see if we could talk about some of that stuff. And I know he probably can't get specific in the cases, Jim, but when he talked about human trafficking, I mean, and that's a big piece of what he's doing. You know, me and Dave, we just sit there and well, JR and Casey, you're just like, and Janet and Holly, but you're all
You're blown away by it.
yeah, we're thinking about hauling gravel, you know,
Right.
talking about overweight, and he's talking about human trafficking in an over the road truck, and we're like, whoa, we're not even. It just makes you feel so not little, but
Small, Jim. You're right. Like
yeah,
unworldly, unaware of
Yeah.
what's going on around us, and having no idea that it's a big deal. Human trafficking is a big deal in
Yeah.
the trucking industry because
We've
it's
been
you
over
can-
picking up a penny in dollars. The big stuff's going over our heads.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
So hopefully he can touch on
It's
that.
a big problem.
Yeah.
Very cool. You guys have anything else for the discussion before we turn into the JFW mini interview?
I don't think so. I guess, you know, it's hot out. I know we got to, you know, had some busy weeks, or we're hauling on Saturdays, or, you know, some long days, stuff like that. We appreciate everything you guys are doing. But we just gotta keep our head on a swivel. That old story, looking at everything, doing everything, and being on top of the game. And when something, you know, is bothering you, say something, and we appreciate everything you guys are doing.
And so good to be busy on Saturdays again. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we've always run 50 or so trucks on a Saturday. And then for a while, it just was maybe
COVID
20,
changed that.
maybe 30. And it's just so busy to hear dispatch ask for volunteers. I mean, Saturday is number one. It's a money day,
Yeah.
right? Because it's a higher percentage. It's overtime pay. But number two, it's an easy day. There's no traffic until about 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then you're done. You got your happy load on, and,
Yep.
you know, it's
Whoop,
just a beautiful day to go out and do some trucking.
I agree.
Totally.
All right. So we picked Tino Bailey. He likes to be called Tino, so we will comply.
I did not know that.
Valentino Sotino, huh?
Tino, yep.
Yep.
Let's give Valentino or Tino Bailey a call.
He was the one that got the shout out, right? Training and everything.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Good morning.
Good morning, Tino. What's happening?
Oh man, you know, trucking away.
Yeah? What are you running today?
We got Firestone to Plan 12 today.
Gotcha. When you say we, you got somebody shadowing you, or
I do. I have a new guy.
yeah? How's he doing?
He's doing good.
Yeah?
It's day 5, so you know he's working through all the jitteries and stuff, but he's doing good.
Gotcha. How did Bennett do with you?
Bennett did great. Bennett was awesome. He had good energy, and he surprised me. You know, Super Dave called me, and he's like, "Man, we're gonna give you." He's 19. He's had a CD out for a while. He's done a lot of. He used to work at like a trash company or something, picking up the roll-offs.
Uh-huh.
And so when I first heard that, I was like, "Oh man, like this kid's gonna come in here and be nervous," and you know. But no, he surprised me. He soaked it all up, and he's a good kid. He's gonna do good things here.
Nice. He gave you a really nice shout out on the podcast, so we should know that.
My boy, right there.
So how long have you been driving, Tino?
I'm going on like 2.5 years now driving.
Oh, wow. You're kind of new at it, too. Would never have known that because you're so good at it. Yep.
I appreciate it.
What's your favorite thing about driving?
Honestly, I don't know what my favorite thing about driving is. I've been doing it ever since I was a kid. My dad always tells me stories. He bought me my first go-kart at 1 year old. You used to have to press the go button on the steering wheel.
Ah.
And he said I would run into the walls, hop out, flip it around, and then just keep going. So I just feel like it's been in my blood ever since I was a kid.
That's awesome. What do you do in your free time?
Free time, I really don't have much of, but when I do have free time, you're going to call me crazy, but I just hop in the car and cruise, man. That's really what I love to do. You know, I'll go cruise downtown or cruise up to the mountains. I don't know. I just hop in the car and drive.
You're crazy.
Yeah, we used to do that all the time. Still do that.
I get sick of it after you drive all day.
Yeah, road trip. That's what me and Holly call it.
There you go. If you were the host of this podcast, Tino, what would be something that you would want to address?
If I was the host, what would I address? I would probably say, when we got not just our trucks, but going up and down 85, I notice a lot. Guys are hustling, hauling ass in the left lane, and then you're coming up. That light's going to change on you. So you start slowing up. You see a truck hauling ass in the left lane. You already know what they're thinking. And sure enough, they do it to you. They cut right in front of you coming up to a red light.
Mm.
And then you got to jump on them brakes. And, when our trucks do it to each other, it really sucks because not only are you screwing over that driver and they got to hit the brakes, but you're messing up their efficiency score,
Ah, good point.
So that's something I would talk about.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah, good point.
And you just did, even though you're not the host. So thanks for bringing that up. If you could instantly master any skill, what would it be and why?
It'd be flying a plane.
Oh, nice. Yeah, like it. Is that something on your bucket list?
I would hope so. Maybe 10, 15 years down the road when I'm bored of driving, hop into something a little bit bigger. I guess there's not much traffic in the air too, so.
Well, they have a traffic control tower. So
Right.
it depends where you're at.
There's a lot of traffic at an airport.
Yeah, but I could be wrong.
Outside that Washington, D.C. airport, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You don't need to wait 15 years to take a lesson, though. You could go take like a little lesson to see if you even like it. You should do that.
That's true. That's true. I should look into that. That'd be fun.
Is there anything on your unbucket list, or what I like to call your ducket list? Something that you've done before that you'll never do again?
So we just went on to a bachelor trip a couple months ago, and we were out there at Cabo in Mexico, and we got on a little banana boat type deal, right? They advertised it as like this party boat and all this stuff. We get on there, man. It was so ghetto. So I think what I wouldn't do it again is an excursion in Mexico where they advertise shit, oh, it's this amazing time, all whoop-de-whoop. Point is, I would never get on a boat in the ocean again. I'm a land animal. I like to keep my feet on the ground.
I mean, I would never get on a banana boat with a bunch of dudes.
It was a sausage party, all right.
What's the most embarrassing thing that ever happened to you in public?
Well, it's funny because me and my fiance talk about this night all the time. So one day we was downtown, we was having some drinks or whatever. And fun night. We were having a good time, and we had just left the Rockies game, and we're walking downtown, and she always tells me, like, you never look at the ground when you're walking. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I should probably start doing that. And so we're walking, and you know how when you're walking downtown, they got them big old giant grates where they put they plant the trees and stuff, right? Well, they had this grate, and it didn't have no tree in it. And I wasn't paying attention. I was a little, I had a couple drinks. And man, there were so many people outside the damn Rocky Stadium, and sure enough, dude, my left leg goes straight in the tree hole where the tree was supposed to be. And yeah, I had a bunch of people laughing at me, and I get embarrassed quick, so I got really pissed off. My girl was laughing at me, and I looked at her. I'm like, don't laugh at me, like what the fuck? So yeah, that was a pretty embarrassing moment. I was pretty upset that night.
Good stuff, Tino. Well, we appreciate you taking the call. Love the energy. Be careful out there. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks, Tino.
No problem, Jen. You guys have a great day. Have a great day, gentlemen.
See you, Tino.
Bye. Got exactly what we thought we would out of Tino.
Yeah, he is one positive guy.
Good call.
All right, let's talk about what's next. We got Jim Sr.'s funeral coming up on Monday. I know you guys mentioned if people want to, if the office staff wants to go, we'll make arrangements. Yeah, so we haven't really talked much about that and who's going and who's not, who's staying. So I should probably get with the office staff to figure that out.
I mean, realistic, Jam, and we know we can't have all the guys, even if they wanted to attend, go to the funeral. It's just too hard.
Yep.
Me and Dave worked really hard to try to get it on a Saturday, and there's just no availability.
Sure.
It was tough. So, I don't know. Again, this offer's very hard. Dave probably kicked me into the table here, but I mean, maybe some of the older guys, as far as Stingray or Rick, that were down around Dad. I don't know how you feel about going to it, but maybe we can make some arrangements. It's just going to be tough. And
Yeah.
and for Dad and all that, he understands that. Mom always understood that the company comes first and the customers.
Sure.
That's what it breaks down to.
Yeah.
The other night when we went out the door, we were just chatting about Dad and all the stuff we had to do, and Oswaldo kind of remarked, I don't know how you guys do that, and he was very sincere about that. That we keep going, but that's how we were raised.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we've talked about it several times that, and then, but on the other hand, it's, I don't want to get off in the weeds. On the other hand, it's very, very final. We cleaned Dad's apartment out last Sunday, and, he had a lot of friends up there, was there almost 2 years, but once we moved him out and we're selling the last of the furniture off, it's kind of like, boof, Jim White no longer exists.
In 3 hours, he was removed from, living up there, Jim.
Right.
3 hours, Jim White isn't there anymore.
Yeah.
And it's just a finality, right?
Death is a crazy thing.
It is. Yeah.
But
that's kind of what Oz was, making the reference to.
Yeah. Because the world keeps going.
It does, in Oz's dark humor, which I love, man. Every time he spits something out that I didn't expect, I admire him a little more and a little more and a little more. I got a lot of respect for him. And he just looked at Jim and I, and he was like, all right, F it. Let's go trucking tomorrow. You know what I mean? And that's what we do.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, we can't stop. We can't shut down. We can't end things. We can't, we got to come to work the next day. We got to get things done. There's life. Life is going to go with or without you. The rock's going to keep spinning. The sun's going to come up and another day is going to go by, and you got to jump in and get shit done.
Yeah. I mean, that's so true. And, I don't want to speak on your recent, death in your family with your dad, but, the ones I experienced, especially the unexpected ones, the tragedies, it's like the world does stop spinning for some people temporarily, but when you start looking around, like, your day-to-days come to like a screeching halt in a tragedy, that is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You lost somebody unexpected, but you look around and all the cars are still moving and people have got their briefcases and, the meth heads are still meth heads, and, it's like the world keeps going, and eventually you got to open up that door and get back on the bus and start moving. So
yeah, you're right, JR. CR.
I know you know who I am. It's fine.
Thanks. Jim is too, in Dad's position, and again, you're talking about a guy that lived a great life, 87 years old.
Wow.
But at that certain point, nobody's counting on him. I mean, he had, like I said, a lot of friends up at the gallery, but, I think I mentioned to Super Dave it's not like being out on a ranch or someplace and you're the only guy that can wrangle the cows,
right?
Rope the cows.
Sure.
Well, you're going to be missed until we get a cow, and in Dad's case, there's not a lot of guys counting on him or people counting on him. And
not anymore.
Not anymore,
Yeah.
And again, it's a finality thing. It's just how you want to look at it, but
sure.
Need to celebrate his life. And we've had lots of people call us and give us their condolences. And, in fact, I talked to Scott DeFleece yesterday and he goes, I waited a couple of days. I knew you'd be busy and a lot of people calling you. And I told Scott, I was like, I don't mind at all you calling. I appreciate that because that keeps his memory alive because he will fade fast, not in my heart,
right.
But as we talk about it, so yeah.
Well, a couple guys that also wanted to offer their condolences, part of our digital Channel 23 tribe, is James Koger and Sean Carroll. Those are two guys that listen to the podcast and call in and give us dad jokes. And we actually called Sean the other day. James Koger said he met your dad years and years ago one time, and he seemed like a really great man, and, he knows he'll be missed. So thanks, guys. Appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks, James. Thanks,
Thank
Sean.
you very much.
Yeah.
Any new Yard 23 updates?
I had it messed up because I was so excited, but Dave had me convinced they were pouring the floor tomorrow.
Oh.
But it is next Thursday, and we are still really pouring the floor next Thursday. Yeah, if everybody will kind of, if you're over there, they're laying all the wire for the flooring right now. They've got what we're calling the trailer bays where we hope to build the trailers at. Mm-hmm. Those guys doing that too, Jam, just a shout out to them. The concrete forming guys. I mean, I don't know how long. I mean, all that steel and iron, they wired together yesterday, making the mat. It's hot. The steel's hot. They're bent over, pulling the sticks of rebar and stuff.
It's 100 degrees.
Yeah, they're kicking ass.
It's 100 degrees in the Mojave Desert because when you stand out there in all that sand, it's like the Mojave Desert.
It is.
It is
Dave.
It's hot.
It's
hotter than
pan.
this yard.
Yeah.
It just is, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So yeah, we're excited. I mean, it just keeps
the electricians are there, the plumbers are there, those guys are wiring the floor. I mean, they'll probably be close to half of, when you say wire, now I'm saying it, rebar. They're putting rebar in the floor. They'll finish the 5,000 square feet today in the trailer bays, and then we'll skip the wash bay. That floor will be done last because it's contoured, it's angled, it has drains in it. It's complicated compared to just a flat surface.
Sure.
And then they'll skip those two and move on. They'll start and go all the way down through the offices. And then, the form guys, they're finishing the floor. They'll be here next week and form around it after the rebar's all tied. So we're going and blowing, man.
Curb and gutters done on the north end or south end.
Yep. They'll pour a little more of that.
And we got, keep doing that, get that in front of the building. We can pave that. They pulled, we talked about the guy doing the line boring. They pulled all the wire yesterday, so it's stubbed up.
Yeah, transformer's supposed to be set this Friday if they stay on schedule.
Yep. So
I didn't notice this morning there, but did they pull the telephone poles yet?
No.
They can't until all the transformers set, James, and they hook to that.
Oh, yeah, because we need power.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yep. Yeah, and then once that's done, I don't know, because then Xcel Energy needs to coordinate with our electrician,
Right?
Because when they can't just hook everything up and flip a switch, you know what I mean? They can't hook that up until they kill the power. Then they hook it up and it's live. But then our whole shop is down. We're down, right? We can't fuel. Nothing works over there.
Like, how long is it going to be down for?
Right. Yeah. Our electrician needs to have all that wiring done, ready to go. Okay. Because they set the new transformer and they pull our old one. It's not allowed to have both.
Sure.
Because we asked, why can't we just run on both? Yeah, that doesn't work that way. Xcel Energy is like, no. We don't do that. So we're not going to make life simple for you. Yeah. But I'm telling you, man, it is changing daily over there. The contour, the shape of everything is taking place. Yeah, Ron Macy's over there.
Macy's, he's got it cut.
Yeah, basically the whole east side of the property is now to grade, in a dirt grade, barring about 50 feet to the fence, which that'll be a big change because it's actually a swale.
Yeah,
30 feet of that 50 feet is a swale, so everything can drain to it, and then it goes towards the creek and gathers right there, and then we'll have underground pipe from that going clear to the northwest corner for the pond.
Yeah, you really the south, the east, and he's got a portion of that north side done too, Dave, as far as grade.
Yeah.
You're really seeing the shape of it.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy over there.
And we broke out the concrete over at the pond, so we'll go from the walls down and start with the pond back in that back corner.
Hey, that's backing me up a little bit. Shout out to the rock trailer drivers. I had Ted
Torres.
Yep, in 22. And then I had 11, which is Luis.
Alan Carballo.
Yes, Alan, yes. And 40?
Uriel Molina.
Yes. Yeah. Rock stars, man. Those guys, they crushed it. We loaded out 27 loads Saturday. I mean, and you know what? At 12 o'clock, we pretty much shut down, right? We try to stop at 12 around here or get the last load on knowing we're going to go deliver it. And no one asked how late Pit R was open. I just kept loading trucks. They just kept delivering, and pretty soon, finally at 1:30, and we were so close to having the pile all gone, like 100% moved, and we needed it moved. It needed to get out of there. And no one asked, are we stopping for lunch? How late are we going to run? You know what I mean? There was never a question from those guys. They were just bang, 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 loading out. And the last load I put on, we finished that, and then I added just a little bit from the new stuff that we tore out over where we used to store the rock and in the corner where we used to park. And I put 1 too big piece of concrete on Uriel.
Heard about that.
And, I'm not going to lie to you. I was tired. I knew that was too big a piece. And what's funny is I've already told the story like it's an excuse like 10 times. I shouldn't have been able to pick the piece up in the loader. And I was trying to get a smaller piece because I can't lie to you. When you're loading that stuff, you try really hard to get a full bucket or you can only get one piece because it's big shit. Right. So you have two choices. You're either you're going to get a bucket full or you're going to okay, I'm going to try to get some. And if I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. And you just keep revamping and keep moving and, you try and make it so you can get a bucket full or something in the bucket. And anyway, I'm trying to scoop up this little piece that was under it and I thought I could pull it out. And it turns out it wedged that piece in the loader bucket. And when I curled it back, it picked it up. And I'm like, I got this. I'm going to load it. You know what I mean? And I should have picked it up and tried to drop it and break it. And I can't lie to you. I got greedy and I put it on the trailer. And the minute I set it in there, it was sticking over the edge. And I'm like, well, this is a problem. So I reached up and I spun it and it still didn't fit. And then I reached up and I spun it again and it still didn't fit. And I'm like, I don't even know what I was thinking. I'm like, you'll be all right. Just take it. So I sent him and it wouldn't come out. So then he had to come back. It took Scooby and I, we lost an hour and a half. We had to use the excavator. We could have really damaged some shit. And it was a lot of effort. Shout out to Scooby. Shout out to Uriel. I mean, we got it off.
Alan.
Oh, that was Alan. I'm sorry.
Yep.
My apologies. Sorry, Alan. And yeah, everybody just helped me out for a stupid mistake I did. And thank God, no harm, no foul, right? We got it off. We didn't tear anything up. So
man, if that was
lesson
me,
learned.
I would have been out there watching you load my truck and I would have been like, you are not putting that in my truck.
That's what I told Alan. I was like, Alan, I know he's the boss and everything, but you should have been out there saying, you can't put that in my trailer.
You know what's funny is me of all people. No, if it's not inside the trailer, it ain't going to come out. It's got to get past those tailgate hinges.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just
those barn doors were awesome.
Right. I just
Whatever
didn't do the
goes
right
in
thing.
must
And
come out.
Yeah. So I paid for it yesterday or Monday morning and it is what it is. So
Yeah.
Good job, everybody. Shout out to those guys. So yeah, I mean, when all that concrete was gone, it looked completely different over there, didn't it, Jim?
Yeah.
It was like, I didn't realize we had 27 loads.
Right.
Oh my God.
That's a lot.
And then Ron went and dug out what looks like 27
more
loads.
loads. Yeah. Yeah. And hey, that pour for the floors next Thursday, they're going to want to start about 5 a.m., but that's 160 yards an hour too, is what they want to try to drop in there.
Wow.
And so,
Yeah, they're going to have about
So
30
six-
finishers.
Yep.
16 trucks an hour.
yeah,
They've
You
asked,
said 160 or 130?
160.
60.
Yeah.
they've
16
asked us
trucks.
to bring in more restrooms for the
Wow.
workers. Like,
Yeah,
so
because
can
they
go to
will
the
have,
bathroom.
like Dave said, like 30 guys finishing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm.
And that guy likes to. Dave met him the other day. He's an old school gentleman. Even knew Janet and Owens brothers. That's how long he's been doing
That's
the
cool.
floors. Yeah, and he told Dave. He says there's not many companies that do the big stuff like this anymore.
Really?
And he said we'll come in here and knock it out. And he likes to do the really big stuff. I mean, we had 3/4 of the building set up to do, and he wants to do everything but the wash bays.
Wow.
Once he moves in, he wants to do it.
I wanted to ask you about the wash bay. Is there new regulations we had to follow to have a wash bay? Any kind of recycle water type deal or?
None of that came up, Jim. The size of I call it a septic tank, but it's not, but it does the same thing. It just separates the solids and the liquids.
Yeah, the
And-
grease trap.
Yeah. It's funny. They call it a grease trap, Dave, but the oil floats.
Yeah.
So if you get any oil in there, it just floats right over the tank. and
It's
goes
really
out.
just
That's true, isn't it?
Right?
It's really just a sand water separator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Sand
what it
trap.
is. It's not. Yeah, it's not a.
So we're
Yeah.
kind of arguing that because our trucks are so clean, because it's expensive. In one day, it started as a 1,500 gallon tank. It went to a 3,000 gallon tank, and then it went to a 5,000 gallon tank.
Ooh, dang.
Yeah, in the matter of about 7 hours. And our builder is like, how did we go from 1,500 to 5,000 in one day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
no,
they're kind of battling on that.
And
a
is
little
that
bit.
Adams County or whoever?
Commerce City?
South Adams
Well, yes,
water,
Dave.
sanitation.
Yes, you're
Yeah.
correct.
but they
Yes.
require it to be pumped every 6 months. That's the weird thing. It shouldn't have a size restriction on it because it's pumped.
Right.
Mhm.
And it's emptied. I could see if they weren't requiring something to be pumped, you'd think you'd want a big tank.
Yeah.
But we have to pump it every 6 months. So there's really not a buildup of sand that happens.
Yeah.
And we've never, I guess our good case to make is the one here. We've never had a violation.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I've been here when they pumped, and years ago, Dave, we would pull the manhole covers and kind of
Get
look
rid of the
at it
water.
ourselves.
Yeah,
ahead of
get
time.
rid of the water.
And it's never been anywhere
No.
near full.
No,
Yeah.
not a sand. No, Dave,
No.
not doing its job. And
Right.
that's
of
where
the solids. Yes,
that's
yes,
where
yes.
the heavy metals and all the stuff rest is in the dirt, in the sand.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of glad we don't do that anymore. That was a stinky job, wasn't it?
Right. Well, you pay by the gallon, Dave.
I know.
No matter whether they're pumping
Yep.
water. And Jim and I are like, we're paying to have our water hauled off? Clean water? I mean, when I say clean, it's not drinkable, but it's not dirty water.
No.
You know what I mean? It got hosed off the side of your car and it went on the ground.
Right.
Yeah.
Now it's sitting in a tank and we have to pay to have that hauled off.
Right.
Kind of frustrating, you know?
Huh. All right, let's talk about safety topic of the week. Or did you have anything else for what's next?
No,
Sorry.
no, I'm
Changing gears on you here.
yeah, I'm good.
Safety topic of the week, we wanted to talk about an incident we had. One of the trucks was having trouble with his tarp, I want to say.
I think it was.
And we had some drivers stop to help him. But one of the drivers left his door open to his cab. And when the truck that needed help pulled off, he grabbed the door and busted the door. We got the bill. It's going to be a $1,600 fix. So we wanted to talk about that because there's a few things we could have done differently.
It's just, for me, it's rule number one. I guess growing up, I've seen that happen. You know, we see equipment drive around. We've fought it on our backhoe door for years, our skid steer doors. The bottom line is, if you have a door, it needs to be closed, whether you're in it or not. And I really get on the mechanics because they love to show up in the service truck and leave the service truck door open and work on something. And I'm like, close the door. You never know. You just never know. And it's not worth it. As you're exiting, how easy is it to close the door behind you?
Right.
Super easy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's just a habit. You know, that door, it just needs to be closed, period.
Especially when the wind's blowing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it'll grab that door
Yeah.
and
Ooh, I had that happen.
fold it right back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that happen on a trailer door. I was delivering for Domino's up at one of the ski resorts, not Copper, maybe, what's the one after Copper? I don't know. But the trailer door, we were on a little bit of a hill. So when I opened the trailer doors, they just stayed shut. And the wind came and blew one of the doors open right when a camper was passing by, and it ripped a hole right in the side of the camper. Yeah.
Boy, I never heard about that one, Jam. You've had a lot of stuff happen when you were hauling food.
That's not on my resume. But yeah, I mean, I had to stand in front of the man for that one.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, like they're like, you always have to latch these doors. You always have to latch these doors. I'm like, I understand now. Like gravity was in my favor. I didn't account for the wind,
Right.
So
Yeah. Yeah, it does suck, Jam. And it sucks, that some things have to be experienced by people because they don't understand it until it happens.
right.
Rather than listening and learning from incidents. And I'm a pretty visual guy. I like to experience a lot of things, and unfortunately some of them are not in my favor, just like loading that concrete. Even that was an experience I even knew better and still did. So
Sure.
won't happen again, but yeah, I mean, I guess we're asking everybody, if you're in the truck, the door needs to be closed. If you're out of the truck, the door needs to be closed. Bottom line. And why would you want to leave it open and let all the dirt and dust fly in?
That's my
always,
thing. Yeah. I spend time cleaning it inside. I don't want it to just fill up with dust.
Right. I refuse to leave my door open
Yeah.
anywhere.
If you're out of dairy, shut your door.
Yeah. Yeah. You
Yeah,
want the
the
least amount of
flies.
flies in there as you can get, right?
Yeah. The other thing we could have done a little bit better is there's always two sides to your trailer, right? So you can't just be focused on one side, especially when you're in close proximity to things. You need to look at both of your mirrors when you start
Yeah.
moving. There could be a person or something that wasn't there when you
Yep.
parked or, something like that. So I know things were tight on the driver's left side, so he was really focused on that and, saying goodbye to the guys. But, there's a couple things we could have done differently to not miss that. So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's multiple things there for sure, Jim.
Yep.
You always look at an accident like that and you think, the first question is always, was it avoidable? 100%.
all the time.
In multiple ways.
Yeah.
Right? Multiple ways it was avoidable. So, yeah.
All right. Tips and tricks with Armando the Sergeant Del Val. Number 14. Give me a break. Isn't that a Kit Kat commercial? Good morning, JFW family, and welcome back to another week of Tips and Tricks. Please remember that the purpose of these tips and tricks are just ways for us to be helpful, better, and safer drivers on the road. Let's be JFW professionals. Drivers with long hours up ahead and nonstop driving, those wheels in the sky keep on turning and you're having a journey. Remember that we got to try to work on not applying the brake application as much as we can. I mentioned it last week about using the engine brake, and I'm still seeing drivers using the brake pedals when they had plenty of time to slow down before getting to the traffic light. Now, I know that we're all going to use our brake pedals from time to time, but try not to apply too much brake on the brake up application. My standard when I'm using my brakes is I try not to go over 25 psi. Even when going down the mountains on Fairplay, I can go down without applying more than 25 psi. Honestly, 25 psi is pretty heavy. I mean, I guess if you're stab braking, that may not be, but, I learned 7 psi, slow and steady, but that's without Jake brakes. It's all about applying that engine brake. Again, practice using them. Whenever you're driving on a straight road and there's no traffic behind you, let go of the accelerator and feel your truck slow down going 65 miles an hour. Also, here's something that I do, and I would hope a lot of drivers are doing as well. On the engine brake, there are 3 stages. Next to the third stage on your dash is max. Whenever you're driving, flat road or mountain, if you pull the engine brake handle down one more time, it will put you on max stage. Now, here's where a few drivers are going to disagree with me. If you do, that's okay. We can still be friends. Remember that the goal here is try not to apply or go over 25 psi in your brake application. Again, if you disagree on what I'm going to bring up next, that's okay, as long as we're doing it safe. I never use manual on my truck, even going down the mountains. Maybe 5 or 10 years ago, I would have with the automatics, but with these trucks we drive, I feel like there's no need to. These engine brakes are so strong that we can go down Fairplay at 90,000 pounds and we'll just barely be applying the brakes. So here's why I don't go to manual, and I will give it a try for those that never used max before. So right before I'm about to go downhill, I'm at the correct gear I should be before going down. Right as when I'm beginning to drop, I set my max. Doing this will kick my RPM between 15 and 20, or 1,500 and 2,000. So when I'm coming down and my RPM is approaching 1,500, it's going to automatically shift me down a gear and put me back at 2,000. So it's almost like going down manual, but you're not pushing the handle to drop a gear. It's basically an automatic manual to me. But I will say this, if you're using the max mode and you're going down fast and your RPM is now at 2,100 to 2,200, it will shift up to the next gear, so it's important to use the brake pedal. But again, if you're in the right gear before going down, you'll still need to apply the brakes. You should be barely tapping your brakes to the minimum of at least 20 psi. And for the manual drivers, remember that if you're going down and your RPM is at 2,100 to 2,200 on manual, it will still shift up to the next gear. Also, when you're on max, if you pull the engine brake handle down, it will kick you out of max. If you step on the accelerator, it will kick you out of max. And if you're on manual and you go to max, it will kick you out of manual. Doing all this will definitely improve your fuel efficiency score.
I didn't know that one, Jam. I didn't know that if you're in manual and go to max, it will kick you out of manual. Because I don't think there's any other function that will kick you out of manual. Is there?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a
I haven't
good
driven
one,
enough.
Armando. I did not know that.
Out. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought once it was in, it was in. That's good to know.
I think another thing that'll kick you out of manual, BD, is if your RPMs get too high, it will eventually kick you out.
Well, I know, like he's saying, it'll go to the next gear. Does it kick you out?
Oh, of manual. Well, I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
I learned something.
Yes, sir.
Now I have questions.
Now I got to go drive. Doing all this will definitely improve your fuel efficiency score. Even though the minimum score right now for your 1% bonus bump is 85, I feel like JFW is being very, very generous. My standard is 95 and above. That's my challenge to myself. Help yourself to be better. Please let me know on Connect Team what you think about this week's tips and tricks. And thank you all again for listening and the positive feedback. Let's start doing things the JFW way. Until next week, Armando the Sergeant Del Val, 0073. Together, we can be better.
That's awesome.
Yes, it is.
That was another good one. He's committed.
Yeah. And
He's not interested.
Yep.
He's committed.
yeah, absolutely. And there's so many, I know he's joking about, you might disagree, but there's so many ways to really do it the right way, however you want to do it and make yourself efficient.
Absolutely.
I mean, the last time I drove one and doing that, it was putting it in manual, but I just went from 1, 2, 3 heads and worked it that way. So it sped you up, slowed you down, sped you up, slowed you down. And I was still in manual. There wasn't much going on, but again, never touched that brake. So, and I know when I drove it, going down, I thought it was a little more aggressive being an automatic and it was making the shifts, but going up or driving the rest of the time, I just left it manual. There was really no reason to shift it for me.
Yeah,
Yeah, you mean left it in auto.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Dave, you're right.
Yeah.
I left it in auto, just driving,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the only other time I really shifted it a lot was like in the pit or just getting loaded and, default to low or something like that to get going.
Yep.
But yeah, there's just so many choices on how to do it right with these trucks.
There is.
There really is. Yeah.
Sure. Soup, what do you think? Want to hit us with that high road hauling?
I would love to, Jam.
Let's go.
So, I don't know. I've been doing this for 10 years now. And so when I'm busy doing interviews or, I have a lot going on and I don't have time to research a topic, I will recycle a high road hauling. And I usually try to go back 5, 6, 7 years so nobody knows. This particular one is the one and only. I guess you could say it's my favorite one, but I'm actually going to repeat this one for the third time. The first time I used it was back in 2017. And it's just so apropos for, Jim Sr.'s passing. And I just absolutely love this. And I hope I can get through it. But
Damn, Dave.
It's called I Wish You Enough.
I remember this one.
Me too.
Yep.
And it's amazing.
Yep. At an airport.
I wish you enough.
I wish you enough. Yeah, you can Google it. It pops right up. I don't know if it's true, but it's one hell of a story. At an airport, I overheard a father and a daughter in their last moments together. They had announced her plane's departure, and standing near the door, he said to his daughter, I love you. I wish you enough. She said, Daddy, our life together has been more than enough. Your love is all I ever needed. I wish you enough too, Daddy. They kissed goodbye, and she left. He walked over towards the window where I was seated. Standing there, I could see he wanted and needed to cry. I tried not to intrude on his privacy, but he welcomed me in by asking, Did you ever say goodbye to someone knowing it would be forever? Yes, I have, I replied. Saying that brought back memories I had of expressing my love and appreciation for all my dad had done for me. Recognizing that his days were limited, I took the time to tell him face to face how much he meant to me. So I knew what this man was experiencing. Forgive me for asking, but why is this a forever goodbye? I asked. I am old, he said, and she lives much too far away. I have challenges ahead, and the reality is her next trip back will be for my funeral, he said. When you were saying goodbye, I heard you say, I wish you enough. May I ask what that means? He began to smile. That's a wish that has been handed down from other generations. My parents used to say it to everyone. He paused for a moment and looked up as if he was trying to remember in detail. He smiled even more. When we said, I wish you enough, we were wanting the other person to have a life filled with enough good things to sustain them. He continued and then turned towards me and he shared the following as if he were reciting it from memory. I wish you enough sun to keep your attitude bright. I wish you enough rain to appreciate the sun more. I wish you enough happiness to keep your spirit alive. I wish you enough pain so that the smallest joys in life appear much bigger. I wish you enough gain to satisfy your wanting. I wish you enough loss to appreciate all that you possess. I wish enough hellos to get you through the final goodbye. Then he began to sob and walked away. The quote this week is, learn to enjoy every minute of your life. Be happy now. Don't wait for something outside yourself to make you happy in the future. Think how really precious is the time you have to spend, whether it's at work or with your family, every minute should be enjoyed and savored. Spoken by Earl Nightingale.
Beautiful.
That's awesome, Dave.
Yeah, you can't. So this is the third time, Dave?
Third time.
You could do that one every week. Because yeah. I wish you enough. Boy, is that not true.
Right.
And think of that in so many ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Final thoughts, everyone?
Yeah. I kind of have a quote just with, the healing process and, with the loss of dad so recent and going through things. I saw a quote that to me, it was pretty profound because it, we were talking about experiencing things. Sometimes you can't learn until you experience that. And as you go through life, you have events in your life that you may struggle with, or you may breeze right through, or you didn't handle it right, or you did handle it right, or whatever. And I'm sure everyone can identify with not handling something right. They could have done this better or been better or whatever the case may be. And the quote is, if you never heal from what hurt you, you'll bleed on those people who didn't cut you. And I'm guilty of that. I've done that in my life, where I had something eaten at me and I was bleeding on everybody around me, until I realized or got some help, from family or whatnot that, oh, wow, I can't keep doing that. You gotta move on. You gotta be better or whatever. So yeah, if you never heal from what hurt you, you'll bleed on those who didn't cut you.
I love that quote.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good segue, Dave, because I know we've been working with Rico a little bit on the air inflation system, and he was headed in the office just, I think it was Monday morning, or maybe it was last week, but dad's passing is just fairly fresh here. And he stopped me and wanted to wish me, his condolences. And I was kind of short with him, but it was just at the last of the day, that's the last thing I wanted to do was just talk about dad at that point, and so Rico, if you felt that, I mean, if you noticed, I hope you didn't, that I wasn't that way, but I owe you an apology. But that's true, Dave. You just, you're bleeding, and sometimes you don't even realize it. And you just, either a friend or a family or somebody like that might help you through that, or self-realization at some point, and I know Monday will be a tough day for all of us, but it's truly a celebration, and you gotta wish him enough, and I think he lived a life like that.
Absolutely. I think he wished us enough.
Yeah. Yeah. Always.
Yeah. Yep.
Anything else, Sue?
I would just like to wish everybody listening enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Enough sun, enough, all of that.
The things you take for granted sometimes.
Yeah. The little piece in there, Dave, the wish people just a little pain so they realize the goodness. Right. You got to have that, or you don't know the difference.
That's right.
That's whenever you read that, I think about that. It's like, well, that doesn't make any sense, but
without struggle, there's no strength.
Yeah,
right.
You can't.
Yeah.
Jam. You look at that so many different ways, but it's so true.
I mean, that was the shark speech at New Year's,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Make them a little scared. They move.
Those are sharks in the
Yeah.
night.
A little pain.
Well, we as humans have to be challenged.
Yeah.
Without challenge, you become lackadaisical.
Yeah, I mean, we could keep diving in here. One of my favorite Bible verses is James 1:2 maybe, but it says, count it all joy. And then we start talking about that Stephen Colbert piece where, if we're going to be thankful for existing, we need to be thankful for it all. We can't pick and choose what we're going to be thankful about if we're thankful for existing.
Yeah, if you have problems to deal with, you need to be thankful, right?
Yeah. Yeah, back to the beginning, that we're not just interested, we're committed.
Very much so.
That's the rule.
Yeah.
And that yeah, sorry, David.
I was just going to say, be committed to living your best life.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like your joy, Jam, like you just said. You can't pick and choose. You got to be committed.
Yeah. Yep. All right, everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Channel 23 podcast. Hit that follow button. Tell all your friends about us. Go back and listen to episode 72 to help find Amber's mom. Links to her story will be in today's show notes. Let's say the creed and get on out.
Sounds great.
Together we face and overcome all that stands before us. Together we are accident-free. Together we are joyfully create honest value for those we serve. Together we will celebrate our differences and respect those with whom we work. Together we are accountable for our words and our actions. Together we are the JFW family. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. Be safe out there. We'll catch you next week.
Have a great week, everybody.
Be safe.
I see those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-trucking down the road. Those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-looking for another load. Well, it's a family tradition, any Rocky Mountain day. Our fathers before us showed us the way. We work for asphalt cowboys and concrete kings, but that's never been a problem, cause we got diesel in our veins. We've got diesel in our veins. I see those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-trucking down the road. Those big, bright, shiny red trucks just looking for another load. I hear there's a couple million tons to move. I see them everywhere. So you best get out their way and watch that sand and gravel disappear. There's another run to make. We gotta get it there on time. And we got what it takes to lay it all out on the line. We'll lay it all out on the line. I see those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-trucking down the road. Those big, bright, shiny red trucks just looking for another load. Those big, bright, shiny red trucks got the best drivers in town. They got all the tools they need to keep that hammer down. When they hit them scales, they won't need to dodge them, won't need to duck them. They just keep that hammer down, and they keep that diesel trucking. Keep that hammer down, and keep that diesel trucking. I see those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-trucking down the road. Those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-looking for another load. They just keep them doors a-closed, keep them butts in their seats, cause those customers are calling, and those red trucks can't be beat. They've gotta put the hammer down and pick up another load. Get it off the ground, keep them eyes open and on the road. Keep them eyes open on the road. I see those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-trucking down the road. Those big, bright, shiny red trucks just looking for another load. Breaker 23, anybody got a copy on that Channel 23 podcast? Welcome, and thanks for listening.